Yeah.
Don't you think their team's not the same?
Okay, if everyone would please stand, I'd like to invite Carson Adams to come up here and stand with me for just a moment. This young man is the future mayor of Winchester. I thought you would want to meet him while he's only 6. So don't forget to vote for him in how many years? 12, 14. But Carson's with us tonight. He is a 60-year-old first grader at Calvary Christian School. And he's interested in government. And so this is where we start, folks. This is where we start with this age and teach them about government and citizenship right here. And this is a fine young man who's going to lead us in the pledge this evening. And then he's going to tell you something at the end. Hey, Carson. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So please remain seated. We're going to have our invocation, but I found out something about Carson. You tell me if this is true. I found out that he acts like our city manager and that he loves dad jokes. Is that right? How about telling us one?
What's a pilot's favorite weather?
What is a pilot's favorite weather?
A pirate's favorite
A
weather.
pirate's.
Yeah. R.
The sea.
Favorite weather. Thank you. Thank you so much. Stay there with us while we do our invocation, which will be led by our city manager, Bruce Manning.
Let's pray. Our dear gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening where we can come together and serve the city of Winchester. We just lift up all of our first responders that keep our city safe, dear Father. We lift up all of our staff that help keep the roads clean and have our city run day to day. We just ask for wisdom and discernment with our Board of Commissioners tonight, dear Father, and bless us as we depart here. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So what is a pirate's favorite weather, right? See.
I thought Travis
first.
That was like the Carol joke today.
And thank you, his parents, for sharing him with us this evening. We appreciate that. Bruce, you haven't even told that one yet.
No, I haven't. I've got another pirate joke.
Oh,
That's okay.
hey, Carson. That's okay. Carson, you want to come back and I'll let Chief give this to you. Here's a pin with the city of Winchester on it, so you can wear this. I'll let Chief Thompson give it to you, okay? All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting officially to order. And the first thing on the agenda is we have a presentation for Mr. Brad Soudan, and I'd like to ask him to come down front and the commission to join me as well. Come on, guys. Sorry, Joe.
That's okay. Just bump me all the time.
I'm gonna go put you on the spot. We're very excited and we're very proud of this young man. What can I say?
We can, kind of.
Brad, he has been our industrial development director for 3 years now. 3.5 in August, right? And we appreciate everything he's done, but not only do we as a community appreciate what Brad has done, the state has recognized what Brad has done in the area of economic development. So I'm going to take the privilege of putting my glasses on for just 1 sec, and I want to read you part of the press release from the Kentucky Association of Economic Development. Brad Soudan, Executive Director of the Winchester-Clark County Industrial Authority, has been honored with the prestigious Community Professional of the Year Award by the Kentucky Association for Economic Development. This award recognizes excellence in leadership, achievement, and innovation in community economic development across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Now, as Mason notes, Brad has been in this business for more than 35 years. He's contributed to communities, to the state as a whole, but under his leadership, Winchester and Clark County has experienced measurable economic growth and transformation. He has been the driving force behind multiple successful industrial recruitment and expansion projects in Winchester, Clark County that have brought hundreds of jobs and millions in capital investment to the region. Brad's focus on long-term sustainability, workforce development, and site readiness has positioned the community as a competitive player in both regional and national markets. And a quote from the Kentucky Association of Economic Development President, Ms. Terry Bradshaw, says, Brad is highly respected among peers for his integrity, his work ethic, and his dedication to the profession of economic development. So Brad, we just had a little certificate of commendation for you tonight to say to you on behalf of the city of Winchester. We're so grateful that we have you in our midst. Keep on growing.
I appreciate it very much. I don't want to appear as ungrateful, but I do have another meeting that I have to get to.
We want you to go.
Yeah, so, but I want to thank the city because what the IDA has been able to accomplish is only because of the support from the city commission as well as the fiscal court. We represent the city and the county at the IDA, and we try our best to create opportunities for the people that live here. And that's what it's all about. I appreciate the recognition that we're really just doing our job.
Keep it up.
Thank you all.
And Brad tonight is better have Stephanie Nelson, and we'd like to welcome her always to this chambers. Thank you for being here.
Thank you all very much.
And he's right from Winchester, go over there.
God bless you.
That'll be a couple hundred feet.
It's part of Sean's line and stuff.
Well,
There, exactly right.
Okay, now we'll get back to the agenda, and it's not real long tonight, which makes everyone happy. Okie dokie, let's go to the second presentation, which will be our TAP grant discussion, presented by Mike Plant on behalf of Palmer Engineering. And I believe he has laid something, or George has laid something on the table for us to take a look at while Mike makes his presentation. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commission, for letting me come down and make the presentation this evening in regards to our Main Street improvements funding considerations. And tonight, coming along with me is Josh Coburn. Josh represented Palmer as the project manager on the Main Street High Side project. And Josh did a good job on that. So he's here to answer any technical questions if there might be any technical, because you all know that I'm not a technical guy by any stretch of the imagination. But as we look at considerations, we're finishing up phase one. We'll go ahead and go to the first slide in this. And phase one is what you see behind you up here tonight, and what we got to enjoy on Saturday night with the parade. And it was definitely a good time with that. But the way that we paid for that was through a Transportation Alternatives Program grant, which is a federal grant. It's an 80-20 grant. And as we said here this evening, phase one is at the punch list stage. There's been a punch list that's been performed on the project with about 29 items that need to be complete. Allen Company is going to be working on that as weather permits, and as some of the things that they get in to do that. And Jesse and some of the other folks are overseeing that till its completion. The project was completed on time and within the engineer's estimate. Anticipated final cost of the project are $3.8 million. If you remember, when we accepted the check, it's been a little over a year ago, close to a year ago now, when we were in these commission chambers. It was a $5.5 million authorization with the city to get $4.4 million if they needed that. So in doing that, I think the city, along with the project team, did a good job of managing the project and taking it to a point to, it was 3.8 and 4.4. So ultimately, $600,000 was left there for that. So I think the state looks at that very favorably from our perspective, from the city's perspective, and saying that, hey, these folks have taken the money, they've used it, they can see the product. They were actually a part of the punch list that we did, the Kentucky Department of Transportation was. I think that they acknowledged that we did a good job with what we had, which says that if we're going to do this, let's just go ahead and finish up Main Street and do the things that we need to do to make Main Street uniform all the way from one end to the other. That's why we're here tonight. So phase 2, as we look at this, and you have the presentation in front of you, if you want to look behind you, it's in color. But phase 2, we split it up due to the costs that are associated with it. We felt like that we would be more favorable in getting the money in two more allotments rather than just one allotment. So phase 2 would be Broadway Street to Depot Street, and it includes requests for funding of design, utility relocation, and construction. So as you see that here, you can see what the extent of that would be from where we left off at Broadway all the way up to the Depot Street area. It'll add angle parking to match the high side project that's been constructed to date. It'll add bulb outs to reduce crossing distance, and those bulb outs are the pedestrian crossings that we look at. You've got a bulb out right up here that comes across, and it allows the pedestrian to enter more into the traffic area so he or she can see better when they're crossing the streets, and it actually minimizes the traffic part of it is to minimize speed and those type of things as well. Also improved aesthetics along that corridor of Main Street, continues the continuity of the new high side section that we've built. And one of the things in the mid block that we'd looked at is the rectangular flashing beacons at those mid block crossings. And those beacons would flash if somebody comes up to it. Now, I know some of you probably tried to cross in front of Leeds going across to the other side, or one side to the other there, and it actually gets pretty crazy, and you can't see around the cars there. So what that would do there is there would be some flashing lights, and I'm sure some of you have been in communities before where you've seen it's mandatory that you stop. It's the law that you stop if those lights are flashing to allow pedestrians to cross in those locations. So I've got a picture at the end to show you what one of those would look like. Next slide. Phase 3 would be Boone Avenue to Lexington Avenue. And with this funding request, what will be before you a little bit later to consider would only be for the design of phase 3, not the construction of phase 3, the design of phase 3. We felt like it would be more beneficial to have the design totally complete, construct phase 2, and then when the city got their funding in place for phase 3, they would already have it ready to go. They just turn in their paperwork, get the funding, and do what needed to be done. Phase 3 would add angle parking as well to match the high side, the bulb outs, the aesthetics, the continuity. A couple of things that are a little bit different on phase 3 than phase 2. And the reason that we split it up is there would be another ADA compliant ramp in front of Lomas, what is currently Lomas today. The high side, you have to build that wall up and be able to, the changes in elevation from sidewalk to roadway, they require certain design requirements that are part of that, and this would include that proposed retaining walls to match the high side project. So as you go up towards Boone Avenue, there would be that continuity of the wall going with the roadway to match that. So that's what we want from an aesthetic look on our Main Street. And then this would include the rapid flashing beacons as well. at St. Agatha School Crossing to improve the safety there for the children and all those that are crossing in that area. So the cost breakdown for funding, for this funding request that's before you tonight, you can see the construction's been estimated at approximately $1.7 million, $1.75 million. The utility relocation part of that would be about $643,000. There's no right of way to acquire since we're in the right of way that's down through there. The design for phase 2, $239, the design for phase 3, $276, and then the construction inspection of $250,000 for a total project cost of $3.157 million. So that's the cost breakdown for that. And then as we plan for funding of that, you're going to notice that the project cost here is different. This project, go back. The project cost is different than the previous one. And the reason for that is in the application that Alicia is putting together for the city, they have a requirement there on the contingency that it has to be what they say it is, not what we say it is. They have a higher estimate of what that contingency will be in regards to that. And I think it's 15%. So our estimate, or Palmer's estimate, was 3.17, and theirs is 3.3. And that's just due to the contingency that's there. And it's a number that we have to use based upon the application, which actually that gives you a little bit of buffer there, which is a good thing. The TAP grant would cover 80% of that project cost that you will be looking to apply for, which would be $2.6 million of that, with a grant to grant application that would cover the remaining 20%. Now that grant to grant is a state. The TAP grant is a federal grant. The grant is a state grant. And which in getting the grant, the city has to match 4% of that 20%, which would mean $25,000 approximately for the city of Winchester for a $3.1 million project. In the end, if you've got both of those funding mechanisms put in place, which I think is a pretty good deal from my perspective, looking at that. So those are the numbers that are there to fund it. I want to say that Alicia, I want to give her some kudos here. She's done a very good job at putting all this together for you guys and going out there and getting the money and finding the ways to make this work that's at least impactful to the city from a financial perspective as possible. Next one. So the time frame in this. Design phases 2 and 3, probably looking in calendar year 2026. So when I say calendar year 2026, the design, you're not going to be able to start design until you get the funding in place. So you would have award of these most likely March, April timeframe would be, and that gives plenty of time to design the project. And when you're doing this, you're going to be doing what you did in phase 1 as well. You're going to be having public meetings. You're going to bring the public in here at probably different percentages, the 30% phase, the 60% phase, and then the final phase when you get to the 90% mark, it's basically to say, this is what we're doing and where we're going. The 30 and the 60 would be opportunities for public input and to provide information that you could incorporate into the plans. With the utilities relocation beginning in the spring of 2027, construction phase falling in there at that same time, spring, fall of 2027. And then when you're finishing up the construction of phase 2, you'll be going back and trying to initiate funding requests for phase 3. I can tell you that based on our conversations and based on the conversations I've had with folks at the Kentucky Department of Transportation and inside this building and other places, that they've looked really favorable on this project. They've seen that their money is being put to good use. That's what they want to see. They don't want to see a project sit around, design of a project and plan set for 2 or 3, 4 years and that funding not be used. And, I think the city has done a good job over the last 3 or 4 years of taking the money and showing them that we're going to use the money for the benefit of those that we're getting it for. So you would be initiating that funding request for phase 3 in the fall of 2027. Next one. So what's the next steps? The reason we're here tonight is you'll have 2 resolutions, I think, that are on your agenda, and the commission approval authorizing submittal of the TAP grant application. Now, this is a application. This is the real deal. So you'd be submitting for this application, and you would probably, like I said, probably about April timeframe would be the notification of whether you got it or not. And then the grant, you will submit for that by the end of the month, December 31st, January 1st, you'll submit for that. And you'll probably know in the month of January, toward the end of the month of January, whether you got the grant or not. So it's very feasible. You could get the match, know that you got the match before you know that you get the TAP grant. So, you know, what do you do in those scenarios? I think you got to wait to find out what happens before you can, you know, there's no sense in saying what if. What you do is you wait to see if you get the monies, and, you know, we're hopeful that we'll get both. I think we've got great applications. We're going to review the TAP grant application before the 19th, before the end of this month. I'm going to review it with Alicia to make sure we've got everything in there that we need, in order that we submit that and have the best application possible to get that. So that's where we're at with that. And then the last thing, I think I just wanted to show you a rapid rectangular flashing beacon. Now this is similar, you can see, and those would be flashing lights. I mean, that's one that you can look at and see there. It may not be exactly like that. It would be very similar to that. And it would be in probably the bulb out that's down there going across the lead. So it would light it up well. You could see it at night. There's a lot of traffic down there at night with people eating, leads, a lot of things going on with different activities, especially this time of year. There's tons of things going on down there. So with that, I'll take any questions from the commission, and I appreciate the opportunity for us to work on it. And I can tell you that I'm very proud of what we did across the street behind me over here over the past year, and it took a lot of folks to make it happen. It took a lot of patience from people that have businesses up there, and I think if we continue to take what we've learned from here and use it in the next 2 phases, I think we can have some very nice, a very nice downtown that we'll all be proud of in the days ahead.
Any comments or questions for Mike from the commission?
I'm excited because we are moving on, Mike. That's great.
Yep.
Don't let
Yeah.
it stay still too long.
Well, you know, one of the things I was against up there is the bump outs and the diagonal parking, because I can't park in diagonal parking because I can't see to back out. Most people my age can't do that.
But now speak for yourself.
Yeah, be careful.
Well,
I'm not going to
Yeah.
offer anything on that.
and the bump outs, you know, every town that I've been to that had those, Moorhead, Whitesburg, Hazard, Pikeville, Catlettsburg, Alexandria, Glasgow, after 3 or 4, 5 years, they have to take them out because it inhibits the traffic flow in their downtowns. And if you don't have traffic flow, you don't have pedestrians.
I'll respectfully disagree with you on that, solely because I've worked in Ashland, and I believe Ashland was a project prior to Winchester, very similar. And I was on, I think that's Lexington Avenue or Winchester Avenue or
Winchester Avenue, yes. And they're talking about
5
taking them
lanes.
out.
Well, they have, I don't want to say that I'm not thrilled with the downtown we have. They have a very large spread out downtown. And really, if you just think about the foot traffic, and it's hard to explain this to someone short of just standing out there. I mean, you're talking about crossing 5 lanes versus 2.5, 1.5. So, you know, I was at the Christmas parade. I stood right at a bump out where people were close to the parade, and we tried to bring them back before they were getting ran over, getting candy. But I think it's kind of like which comes first, you know, the horse or the carriage. Like, do we make it more pedestrian friendly and more people come downtown? Or are we just hoping that more people show up and therefore we'll have more pedestrians?
But if they can't drive downtown, they don't get out of their cars and walk.
Well, hopefully maybe we can encourage some type of drivers testing if someone feels the need.
And
'cause we can't-
taking out the left turn lanes on this block was a ludicrous idea.
So that's hindsight. My one question was, if we were to get the grant and not get the TAP grant, can we reallocate the grant to something else? I mean, clearly this is a project that's probably.
I think it's filled out specifically.
For
And,
that.
and,
Okay.
and I
to
mean,
match
we
that.
have to understand there is going to be a gubernatorial election in November of 2027 too. And all those folks at the transportation department in the upper echelons, no matter what party the person is that's elected, are going to change.
Right, well, you'll know before that you'll be either notified of award or not award in early 2026.
Yeah.
So it won't affect,
Mhm.
it'll be the same folks that are in office today that will be
Yeah.
making those decisions. And I think it's based upon, I think the awards of them are based upon the people that administer the grants. And I can tell you that our relationship, I know Alicia's relationship, both Alicia's, I should say, with them have been very good. You know, I know some folks over in the Department of Transportation that I've worked with, and they look on us very favorably, and they like what we do with the money that they've given us over the last 4 to 5 years. They see the work that's being done, and that's what they want to see. They want to see you using the money and it not sitting somewhere for 3 or 4 years waiting on the design. And that's why it's so important. You've heard Brad say it before. It's so important for this commission and having projects that are shovel ready. And shovel ready means that you've got the design done, you've got a set of plans. So when you fill out that application, when Alicia goes to submit those applications, she's got a set of plans that she can upload to that website, and they say they're ready to go. We can spend our money here. And, you know, a legislator is going to say, you know, I'm going to get some credence out of this. I'm going to get some kudos for this because we're able to do this. And I think, like I said, and it's because of you guys. It's not you're the ones that approve it. And if you all approve these things, then we're able to move forward and do the things that we want for our community in the way that we want to see our community.
And the idea that it would only cost $25,000 is the only thing I would consider a plus about it, because you know you're going to change a 200-year-old town.
You are, sir.
And there's a lot of people that don't like change.
Well, and just FYI on the city, when you come in, the picture that's on the for the city of Winchester there, it's the old city of Winchester, just FYI.
What do you mean when we come in?
When you the picture that's on the screen when you walk in here, that it's got the main street, it's the old one.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I walked in.
That's the town with character, though, that doesn't look like it's a cookie cutter town.
I've got to just combat this one time, though, because we do still have the high side, and the high side is what is historical. It's not the steps, it's the high side.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what's
Yeah.
historical, not the steps.
The good
I
thing about
understand
this
what you're
project,
saying,
Mike,
sir, and
it came
understand.
in on time and under budget.
Yes,
also.
yeah, I
And
mean,
the
we
state
were
is-
$600,000.
State's really ecstatic about that.
Yes, they are.
So,
Yeah.
Well, we got Amanda here tonight, God love her, because she lived
She
through
lived it. She
this.
knows.
We're not.
And
She
James, you
survived.
know, you both have
Amanda
lived
and Jesse, Amanda and Jesse.
and
yeah.
lived through it, but I do think one thing, it's gonna slow down traffic some. Traffic, I mean, I'd be planting flowers someday and I think somebody's gonna run over me before they be going 60 miles an hour down Main. So I think that's a good thing for sure. I also feel like that the people that have bought buildings downtown have bought them knowing about this project. And we have a lot of new businesses that have opened in the last year, and I'm thrilled about that. So I think we're onward and upward is what I say.
Thank you, Mike, very much. Good
Appreciate it.
presentation. Josh, thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for handholding us during this process. So, thank you. Okay, back to the agenda. Item 3, we have the minutes of the November 4th, 2025 special 4:30 meeting and the regular 5:30 PM and the November 18th, 2025 special 4:30 and regular 5:30 meetings. Is there a motion?
We need to do those separate because I was not at the November 4th meeting.
Okey dokey. Let's go back then and just do the minutes of the November 4th, 2025 special 4:30 and regular 5:30. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Strode. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chenault. Any discussion? Any additions or corrections? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by a like sign? Motion carries. November 18, 2025 special 4:30 and regular 5:30 PM meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cox. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tool. Any discussion or additions or corrections? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed by a like sign? Motion carries. Item 4, departmental agency reports. I think you probably had time to review this, and we do need a motion on these. Is there a motion?
So moved.
That would be 4A through M. Motion by Commissioner Tool, I believe, a second by Commissioner Cox. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item 5, informational items. As I say at every meeting, this is for information only. No action needs to be taken on that. Item 6, resolutions. Madam Clerk.
Resolution of the City of Winchester, Kentucky, authorizing the completion and filing of a Transportation Alternatives Program TAP application for up to $2,674,400 in grant program funds with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Strode. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tool. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by a like sign? Motion carries. 6B.
A resolution of the City of Winchester, Kentucky, authorizing the completion and filing of a Government Resources Accelerating Needed Transformation Grant Program of 2024 project application for up to $642,096 in grant program funds with the Cabinet for Economic Development.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Tool. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Strode. Any discussion?
And this is the grant part, right?
That's the grant. Correct, Alicia? Okay, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by a like sign? Motion carries. Item 7, Madam Clerk.
This is a summary, an ordinance amending ordinance number 19-2001, an ordinance number 2-2024, an ordinance relating to the establishment of an historic district overlay, designation and protection of historic district individual landmarks, and prescribing penalty for violations. Copy of this ordinance can be viewed at the office of the city clerk, City of Winchester, 32 Wall Street. I hereby certify that the foregoing is an accurate summary of the contents of the above entitled ordinance. William A. Dyckman, City Attorney.
Okay, is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Strode. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chenault. Any discussion?
I would still like to see this where at least 2 of these members are either business or property owners in the historic
They
district.
are. They will be. They will be.
I think it needs to be,
That's why it was tabled last time.
I think it needs to be in the ordinance that it has to be, not just we say, okay, that's what we're going to do, because we won't be here forever.
That and planning and zoning, whether it's ex officio or what, but
But-
clarifying that planning and zoning is a part of that as well.
I think it needs to be in the ordinance that two of the members have to be either business or property owners in the district. And maybe an ex officio member from P and Z.
Mr. Dyke, any comment on that?
Well, I think it makes sense, but the only thing that concerns me is that if you have somebody that's run it for 3 years and sell it,
Sure.
Then you put it in there that if they sell their business, if they sell their building, they are automatically removed.
well, yeah, obviously, but then somebody else.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, I mean, there's nothing wrong. That's the only thing that bothers me.
Well, I mean, it's just like if a person is on the Historic Preservation Board and they move out of town, they've got to
True.
be
but
removed.
The odds of that as opposed to selling a business
Right.
are less.
Yes.
That's all. I think there'd be more turnover if that were a requirement rather than a policy, but it's your call. There's no legal prohibition that's putting that in place. That's
We'll add that
What do you
on
want
to
to do,
the-
Commissioner?
Well, this is first reading, right?
Yes.
Put a,
Let, wait a minute, let Commissioner Shrub say.
how can we reword it so that that can be on there, I guess, for us,
That's why we pay Bill the big bucks.
lift it up.
Now, if we vote on this, can you put it in for the second reading and it's still okay?
Probably.
No, we have to
We have to do a new one,
Because
yeah.
you're making too
Bunch
much
of
of a
changes.
change.
Okay.
That's not a small. change.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Okay.
Why don't you just table it till the next meeting till it gets rewrote?
And
Well, that's what we did last time though. So what happened?
Well, we know what we wanna,
I couldn't see.
we
a
know what we
change in
wanna
it.
do now, so.
There
it
was
was
shouldn't-
no
no change.
change in this one.
Right.
No, it's just that what was changed was instead of 6 members, it would be 7.
Uh-huh.
That was the first step we needed to take, to know exactly how many we were gonna appoint to it, and then go from there. So if we could get the 6 to 7 changed, then we would know what the makeup of the committee would look like, the commission would look like.
Okay, now this is just one fat guy's opinion, okay? I say 2 members would possess expertise in the area of architecture, engineering, land use planning, archaeology, all like that. And 2 members be business or property owners in the historic district.
sometimes they're the same. Shane.
I say
Right,
part of me
right.
feels it should be building, and the only reason is because a business owner shouldn't really be making any changes to the building.
Right.
That's the only reason
Yeah.
I say that.
And the ordinance itself, the ACO ordinance requires business owners, not
Business or building.
buildings.
Okay, no, yeah, okay.
Yes.
You're right.
Well, I agree with you. Part of the reason I motioned to table it last time was that there was just the requirement of the 3 members possessing expertise, and I would like to see the majority of the committee have some type of requirement that's relevant.
Mhm. So if we do 2 with the expertise and 2 property owners.
Something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm certainly not,
Yeah.
I think it's important to have the discussion, but I do think the majority of, and I'm fine with the 7, but I think the majority of it needs to be relative.
And I think it will be. I mean, I think that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
I think you want somebody on there that's got experience. Now that we're getting it up and going again, and particularly it's important right now because we have a lot of new businesses and owners.
So Mr. Dykeman, correct me, the only thing we're doing this tonight is changing, again, like we talked about last time, from 6 to 7. It's the only change in
That's
the,
what this is, but
yeah, right, but this is the only thing we're voting on right now, is 6 to 7,
Commissioner
correct?
Cox's point, though, it doesn't have, it just talks about. the-
You want it in this?
Yes, I want it codified because, like I said, we won't be here forever. And in 5 years, there could be entirely new people up here that have no idea that some of the
That's
members are supposed to be
That's true.
property
I don't
owners.
have a problem with
That's
that.
true. I think that's a good
That's
point.
a
Bill,
good
do we
point.
need to bring that back in January then,
Yeah,
and
we-
just
we-
table it
it's-
again?
It would be a major change. I don't think it's not a scrivener's change, so it would have to be redone.
Commissioner Toole?
Another first reading, don't you agree, Joey?
No, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I think again, that's why I voted to table it. I don't really know where the disconnect was in the few weeks between then and now. So I think we all agree on some level of HPC. But like Commissioner Cox said, I mean, we aren't all here, and I think we need to stop being reactive and doing things after the point. We're working on this now. We should write it appropriately.
So
Okay.
let's send it back to you,
Yeah, I'll
if that's okay. We'll
Okay.
just, is it okay just tabling it tonight, bring it back in January 1st meeting?
We need to withdraw.
Can we not vote on the 7 members?
He said it'd be
Okay.
That's whatever Bill says.
too much of a change.
Yeah, we just have to change it again next time. You could leave the seventh, I think everybody agrees. It's a good
Yeah,
sure.
idea.
Yeah.
We'll
Right.
keep it up.
Right.
Seven's fine, but I think it makes more sense to table it and have a one bite,
I agree.
2 bites.
Everybody okay with that?
Yes,
Need to
ma'am.
withdraw the motion
I
in a
withdraw
second.
my motion.
Okay. Who had the second?
Joe,
You withdraw that?
I withdraw that.
All right, we'll just turn this back over to Mr. Dykeman for clarification and tweaking and bring it back in January. Okay, all right. Item 8, orders general, Madam Clerk.
In order reappointing Krista Joint to a 4-year term on the Clark County Winchester Heritage Commission.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cox, second by Commissioner Strode. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. 8B,
An order approving funding from the Beer Cheese Relief Funds for a business located at 66 South Main Street in the amount of $4,778.
is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cox. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tool. Any discussion?
Was hoping John Paul would be here tonight because it's his birthday.
That's probably why he's not here. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item 8C,
An order approving funding from the Downtown Development Investment Fund for a retail kickstart grant for a certain business located at 128 North Highland in the amount of $1,000.
is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Strode. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tool. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item 8D,
An order approving funding from the Beer Cheese Relief Funds for a business located at 68 South Main Street in the amount of $1,631.
is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Cox, second by Commissioner Tool. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item 8E,
An order approving funding from the Downtown Development Investment Fund for a Main Street High Side business support grant for a business located at 5 South Main Street in the amount of $2,750, not $7,000.
is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Tool. Is there a second? Second.
Se-
Second by
second.
Commissioner Strode. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item 9, personnel orders, A through C. Madam Clerk,
An order amending the Police Department rules and regulations.
is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Tool. Is there a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Strode. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item C.
B,
B.
B.
I'm sorry, I took my glasses off. Now I can't see it. B.
an order rescinding order number 2022-37, an order adopting the position description of Human Resources Benefits Coordinator and adopting a new position description of HR Benefits Coordinator, City Manager, Department Personnel and Pay Classification Plan.
Is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Strode. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chenault. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. Item 9C.
An order amending the position description of Stormwater Coordinator, Code Enforcement Support, Personnel and Pay Classification Plan.
Is there a motion? Motion by Commissioner Strode. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chenault. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by like sign? Motion carries. We're down now to item number 10, comments from the general public concerning items not on the agenda.
Jesse. I
Thank
think
you.
the only one.
Okay, Mr. Jarman, come on down. If you will, even though we know who you are, if you'll state your name and your address, we appreciate it.
Jesse Jarman, 165 Wynn Avenue, Winchester, Kentucky.
Thank you, sir.
I've been here for 67 years in this Winchester. I love it. I love Winchester. And I want to tell y'all that I'm really displeased with what's going on Hill Street. It is really running the north end of Winchester. We are getting fertilized and embalmed every week. We cannot cook out. Our families cannot go outside. Fertilizer falling from the sky. And y'all smelled here a while back, last month, of what we're smelling every day. How would you like that in your house every day? We don't. But we're trying our best to get rid of it. They keep on saying, oh, it's all natural. I worked over at propane facility in Scott Gross, plant manager for years. Propane don't have no smell. The smell that you got is all natural. Kale Pactan, some of the smelliest stuff on earth. They put it in propane where you can smell it. Hey, that ain't no worse than what we smelled last month. And I know that the fire department was called. Police was called. They had cadaver dogs walking around the neighborhood. It smelled dead. The whole neighborhood. You could smell it all over Winchester. It was bad. People, it don't do no good to clean up downtown if people can't come down here without smelling that stuff all the time. It don't do no good. You get a north wind, Winchester right downtown is getting it. Fertilizer falling out of the air right downtown Winchester.
Bruce, when you reported this to air quality, what did they say? You did
So,
report this to
I
Frankfurt.
did,
correct?
yes. I sent an email, well, actually, I called them to report a violation on that day, which was November the 24th. They did do an inspection, and I got an email back from the environmental scientist for the Division of Air Quality. It was reported that they went out to the Kentucky fertilizer plant on December the 4th in response to odor. Overall, we did not find any noticeable issues or violations at the facility. During the odor survey, we used 3 locations and did not detect any odor at a 7-to-1 ratio. We did detect odor in the ambient air at a downtown location, but it was very brief. We did not detect any odor to warrant a violation. We did a walkthrough of the facility with Mr. Connor Bruce. The facility had switched providers and had to change their supply for the type of lignin that they used. The change in the lignin is what caused the intense odors on that day around the city of Winchester. Mr. Bruce stated that the facility has since gone back to the old process, canceled any orders that required the new lignin to be used, ensuring that the odor would not be caused again. On site, we did not observe or detect any violations regarding the emissions and odor complaints. We thanked Mr. Bruce for his time, concluded the investigation, and promptly left the facility. So we were on top of it, like you said, with the police, the fire. We reported this to air quality, and I would encourage any citizen, any homeowner around there to actually contact Frankfurt, because the more complaints that they can get from residents, the better. So,
Jesse, why don't we give you the direct number to air
I got the
quality?
direct
You have
number,
it?
yes.
And just bombard them.
Okay.
I live 3 blocks away on Ashland Avenue. And if the air is still late afternoon, early evening, I can smell it at my house. Now, I've never had the ash or fertilizer or anything on my car or anything that I can tell. I get pollen all the time
Yeah.
from trees, but I can smell it over there if the air is still.
And I
I
can
brought
smell
my
it too.
truck down here and let them take pictures of it. It covered with the fertilizer. Sometimes it looked like a young snow up there.
Yeah.
Do you get that every day, Mr. Jarman?
It's about 2 or 3 times a month that it does that. But that is lime. You know what lime does to your grass and stuff?
Mhm.
I raised a garden out back. Can't no more. Tomatoes get up about that big around and they die. Beans get about that long, they die. If you've noticed, you had a lot of big trees that was on the north end that died.
Mhm.
And that's because of the lime that's in the air. Trees that was been there since we was young, since we was boys, brother, running around here. By the way, yes, I know Brother Joe. Me and him played ball many times together.
I wouldn't admit that.
Oh, they used to call me the Pearl. I am the Pearl. Some of you might have known that around town. I am the Pearl.
But you know, I would ask you as basically a neighbor of yours, get that phone number, make sure all your neighbors have it. Give it to Jay up there at the store and have him give it out to everybody too.
Yeah. Jay's
And
a good friend of
every time they can smell that stuff, they need to call that number.
It gets bad. It gets real bad.
Yeah.
It's
Especially if the air is still.
yeah,
Now, if the
No.
wind blows it
right.
off to wherever.
And he's in a residential area. And this might be something for you.
I don't know how many times Frankfurt's come down here and said, "Bye."
Yeah.
What, 5, 6
At
times
least.
in the last?
Yeah,
Unless
and
If y'all start a new business, okay? Don't y'all see, ask them, hey, have y'all got enough parking? You got enough places to put your trucks, unload your trucks? Do you got enough places to load your trucks? They don't have no places to load and unload their trucks. They're using city streets.
And one of my concerns has always been up there because I used to teach at Concrete School even before, and it's not there anymore. But the lumber yard up there was worse. They would take those trucks right down Magnolia at 40 miles an hour with kids walking to and from school. Now, I haven't seen these people do that.
I've seen
on
as
a
high
Magnolia.
as 15 to 20 tractor and trailers on Hill Street.
Mr. Dyke,
Is
is there a
that-
way, and feel free to tell me
Is that
that
a code
there's not,
enforcement?
that
Is
we
that a
can
code
do a
enforcement
letter
thing?
to the state saying that we had a resident come in tonight to address the city commission, still lots of concerns, and
I think it might be
Code
important to do that along with a petition, if you could guess.
right.
If you could
Can you do that, Jesse? Did
Yes,
you
I
get a
can get a
petition?
petition. I put one online, but a lot of the older
Yeah.
people over on that end of town
No,
No.
don't get on.
Right.
but if you
computer.
could do a petition.
Yeah, if you could do
and
it, Jay,
then-
at the store.
And bring that and send that to Frankfurt, and then we'll put a
I think
letter
we
with
can
it from
attach
the,
that with
from
the
the
letter.
commission.
Now-
Is that okay with the commission?
We need to do.
Can I ask y'all something? Have you, one of you ever went around up there and seen how many people that is got lung disease
Oh, yeah.
and cancer that this stuff is falling on? My wife has got real bad lung disease. And she sits there and that stuff starts falling, got to put her on oxygen because she sucks it in and it just, they say it won't hurt you. It's just lime dust.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. The Dust Bowl was just dust too, and it killed millions of people. There's a lot of people getting hurt up there right now.
If you will, let's do a petition, bring it, when you get it and bring it to the next meeting or whenever you have it ready
Okay,
and present it to the commission. And
okay.
then we will send it with an official letter
Yeah,
to
we need to
Frankfurt.
definitely send
And let's see what,
And take it
let's
to
see what we
Jay
can
up
do.
there at the store and have people at the store. sign it.
Okay. I sure
Let's
will.
try that, okay? Does that
I
work?
sure will.
We'll see what, if we
I
get any
mean,
results.
People, I don't want to be that, you
Yeah.
know,
No, I understand.
but I've got to, I can't let my little kids, my little grandkids out back
That's terrible.
because that stuff is following on them all the time.
Terrible.
I can't cook my hamburger because the stuff falling on the hamburger. I wouldn't give one of them back kids on them,
No.
my little grandkids.
Okay, we'll take that approach for now and see what we can do.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Jesse.
Okay, was there anyone else, there was no one else signed up to speak?
No.
Okay, let's do comments from the mayor, commissioner, city manager, and city attorney. I know we do have to go to closed session this evening. So let's start with Mr. Commissioner Chanel.
I guess like everybody else, I attended the Christmas parade, which was, everyone is still talking about how well it went off, how good it was. And breakfast this morning at Public Works.
Commissioner Stroh?
Yeah, Whitney, I left Whitney a message. It was wonderful. More compliments I think we've ever had. The weather was cold, but it wasn't windy. And excellent job, excellent job. Just to remind everybody that Christmas coming up, the Good Giving was a huge success in our community and so many of our nonprofits, Shannon's work group being one.
We basically made 75% of our
That's awesome.
Yeah.
budget for the year.
Just a proof that this community turns out and gives back. They truly do. Don't forget Operation Happiness is this Saturday. I think they're still asking for coats. They're way short on coats, so
And need them by Thursday.
by Thursday. Okay. I know they were doing our last church pickup yesterday. And thanks to everybody for your interest, for coming to meetings. I think it's great when you're concerned about what's going on in this community. I'm so sorry, Mr. Jarman, that you have many problems up there. I hate that because I wouldn't want that in my neighborhood either. So I understand it. Everybody have a happy and safe holiday. And I'm thrilled about our project and I'm thrilled about upcoming too. Thank you, Alicia. You're doing a great job of finding us grants.
Commissioner Fox?
Just everybody, please have a safe and a Merry Christmas. Weather's gonna get bad here again starting tomorrow night, so everybody please watch and be careful and stay at home if you can, despite the fact, even if it's gonna be 10 or 12 degrees Sunday morning. Appreciate all the thoughts and prayers when I had the eye problem last week that locked me in. Well, when you can't drive for 3 days, you're in bad shape. But everybody have a merry Christmas.
Commissioner Tool?
I would still like to see Facebook comments turned on the city page. And I would just like to wish everyone a happy, healthy holiday season.
Is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dykeman?
So happy holidays and Merry Christmas. I gotta say, your bingo idea was great, especially my whole bingo. I'm coming back next year.
It was fun.
Mr. Manley?
I just want to say we had a great employee Christmas brunch this morning, and I appreciate L8. I want to specifically say L8 donated, Winchester Farms donated, Jersey Mike's donated, and Creative Coffee. So
Great.
appreciate the donations that we had that support what we do here at the city. That was very nice and generous.
How did bingo go?
That's what Bill was saying, the first time. he-
Public Works cleared it out.
Public Works kind of
Yeah, there was. a
Yeah.
big-
Cleaned up?
I think that was a fix. That's right.
They had the whole board advantage.
They did.
Twice.
They did.
But I thank you all for donating the prizes for bingo and everything too. So thank you. That made it fun. My thoughts and prayers are going out to the Cecil family today. We just want to comfort them and wrap them in, because I said at the brunch this morning that when one of our employees is hurting, I think we all hurt together. So we just need thoughts and prayers. That's what I feel. And that's all.
Okay, and I had 2 or 3 quick things. One, it's gonna take me about 3 minutes to read something to you, but I think it's important for me to share something that I just received on December 2nd. It says, "Dear Mayor Reed, this is a family writing from Ohio. Whether it's an accurate account of the actual nature of our nation's criminal justice culture, we too often hear of the poor outcomes that occur when untrained personnel encounter people with mental illness. That said, when my daughter, Liza Barrett, wandered into your city on October 1st, off her bipolar medication, delusional and critically vulnerable, the public servants of Winchester quickly identified that what initially looked like public intoxication was actually a mental breakdown, at which point they wrapped their arms around her until we were located and able to intervene. There's a lot of names I didn't get, but everyone we encountered treated us with respect and compassion. They said there are a few I can recognize by name. First, Christine with Adult Protective Services reached out to us to let us know our daughter's circumstance and continued to act as liaison between us and various services. Major Chris Van Hoos from the detention center met us upon arrival and stayed past his shift to help us navigate this situation. Tony Kirk, the clerk of courts, more help with organizing, liaising, and even jumping our car after we let the battery run down from sheer mental overload. Nurse Kelsey, who works at the detention center, also super helpful in liaisoning with our daughter's psychiatrist, and even responded to a text from me on her day off. In short, they and everyone we encountered went over and above to help us during this very difficult time. So while we still have a big task ahead, none of that could have happened without your community circling the wagons around our family. It's entirely possible they saved Liza's life. So please honor and recognize them on our behalf. As Kate and I can't thank them enough. Best regards, Jay Wilford. I emailed him back to be sure it was okay if we shared, and he said, yes, please. This is the definition of community and needs to be honored. Also, thank you for your prayers. Liza is in a safe place now, and we are working towards wellness. This is Kate, Liza's mother and Jay's wife. I want to add one more name to Jay's list of all-stars, and that's Deputy Sarah Fish. She also kept us informed and in the loop, even on her day off, and she continues to stay in touch. She is just another member of your outstanding community. We're so lucky that Liza landed with you all. Thank you again. So I wanted to share that. We all know that lots of times public intoxication, or people are perceived as being publicly intoxicated when actually it is a mental illness. And this family from Ohio wasn't sure they'd get their child back. and she happened to wander into our community. And Mayor Gorton said one time, I heard her give a speech, and she said, a good city must be a safe city. And I think that's very important. And then when I got this memo from her parents, that said a lot. We do have a good community. We do have a lot to be thankful for. And we need to thank God that we landed also here in this community. So I want us to remember that at Christmas and be thankful. And let's don't assume things are one way when they're not, like here in the case of Liza. You know, she wasn't publicly intoxicated. She was having a mental crisis. And that was recognized by our community. So I want to share that with you. I also want to thank Whitney for her diligence and her committee working on the parade. It was outstanding. Chief, I've had a concern brought to me today about speeding on Kobe Road. If we can do a little enforcement, a little additional, so they're popping over the hill by Atlanta Lane, and then they're putting the pedal down and going. Also want to extend sympathies to the Cecil family and the loss of their son. And she's one of ours. And we need to remember each other during this Christmas season. And I personally, from the bottom of my heart, thank each of my commissioners up here for what you do and the diligence and the time you put into what you do for this community. I want to thank all of you that come to the meetings and listen and participate when you want to participate. And thank you for being here. And from the bottom of my heart, Merry Christmas. So at this time, we will go into closed session. Commissioner Cox, would you like to make a little statement?
For what?
And we're going in.
Okay, at this turn, this time I'd like to make a motion to adjourn to closed session for KRS chapter 61A 810B property acquisition, and at the conclusion of closed session that it would adjourn both the closed and the regular sessions of this meeting.
Okay,
Second.
all right, all in favor? And we
Aye.
got it. Let's go to the commission, to the manager's office.
Welcome.
Joanne will leave my stuff. You can leave your stuff here.
Do we need to take paperwork?
Leo,
No, I think it's.
Shanda's like,
It
"Oh,
take but a minute.
She's back tomorrow. She's always coming back tomorrow.
You know.
So yeah, I just can't imagine. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, Mr. Tackett. Thank you.
Either next Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, I will call you the day before and let you know what time. I understand.
I've been through your mail.
It would be after 2 in the afternoon. Yeah. Okay.